Imagine if you had to live in a world almost fully submerged by water, not knowing what lies beneath the surface. A thin line which separates life and death. But you are the protagonist of a JRPG. So, the world itself is made of very small islands separated by huge portions of water, and everything relies around fishing. So, of course, for the whole game you will see almost no ships, and you will not see literally anyone doing stuff related to fishing. It is almost as if everyone is on vacation while we are playing the game. Alright, so, to win a battle against a fish, you have to pull the rod when you're in the blue section to deal a small damage, or in the yellow to deal critical damage. It honestly felt paced very well. For how these battles work, you're able to basically never stop fishing and have less than a second between battles. When you level up, you can increase your stats. They start at the same level you have in real life, but can go all the way up to 100. Also, I really appreciate putting in your view some locations you will see only later. But it's finally time. We are 16 years old and we just catched one catfish. I guess we are definitely ready to embark on a journey across the island by ourselves with no money! Oh, good old JRPGs. On our first new island we also discovered there are some people which surf, but bro, did you see what's in the water? Oh, also, these monsters are called C-A-Zs. I don't know how to pronounce them, I'm gonna call them fish from now on, okay? These are fish. Maybe you are wondering, what do you do with the fish once they are captured? Psh! It's very simple, of course, you kill them and take their organs to make money. It's funny because this usually happens in any JRPG in the universe, that you kill enemies and they give you materials or body parts, etc. But in here it felt extremely personal. Like, there is a whole section where you buy a carving knife to do exactly that. Now we have to make some money, and of course our dear friend, the one who dragged us on this mission, is gonna do nothing. Yeah, why even bothering? We can risk our life against these monsters. Another thing I appreciate is that as you play, some random items will spawn on the ground for you to collect. You can get money to buy supplies, you can get baits, which increase your stats while fishing, and thank God, I appreciate a lot that baits are not required to fish. Imagine having to stop every 5 minutes because you finish your baits. Alright, it's finally time to throw away the Terraria wooden rod and take a better rod to deal even more damage to our preys. And our journey continues. Why are you making a campfire in full daylight? So, they told me in this little cave down here there is a jungle, and of course it's a giant tropical island somewhere unmarked on the map. And you complain about the lava castle being on top of the windmill? Psh, amateur. At this moment we get attacked by an evil fish, and you know it's evil because it's almost fully dark and has red eyes. And unfortunately our friend gets eaten alive. But smile, because we find God! Classic JRPG. God, which is severely injured and is hiding from someone, may be able to detect our friend location. But of course, being at less than 1% of his true power, we have to bring him some materials from fishes to become stronger. We need a ship. We need a ship to travel across the world and get the materials. And if you think that's gonna be expensive, nah, no worries, they're gonna fully pay the price. Why? Because we are the hero. Look at us. Blonde spiky hair and blue eyes. The main character aura breaks the roof. I mean, if it wasn't clear by now, I will say it, okay? You do not play this game for the story, okay? The plot is very simple and concise. What you are playing for is that juicy crit sound every time you fight and collect all possible fishes in the world. Let's be real, big numbers and colors are one of the main reasons you play video games as well. We got our ship. It's not able to travel outside of calm water, but we got our ship. And I gotta say, it's been less than an hour and we already have full control on exploration. This is maybe the thing I liked the most about this game. It does not hold your hand almost at all on the main quest. It gives you the possibility to go wherever you want. With some limitations, of course, because as I said, we are limited to calm water and some zones are currently blocked by rocks. But considering how quickly we will unlock the next upgrades, this was managed very well. Good job. And also, more nice foreshadowing of some locations we will see later. It's time to talk about bosses, another major point of the game. There are multiple fish bosses scattered through the world, both connected to the main story or completely optional. And honestly, that feeling of landing on a new island and finding a giant monster who wants to murder you was always able to put a smile on my face. And let's continue with the fan service. After fighting a boss for the first time, you can fish the area around to face him again infinite amount of times. In that way, you can both collect more materials, which are gonna come relevant in a second, or just relax, which I think at the end, it's part of the charm of this game. The gameplay loop is very simple after all. You catch fishes to level up and become stronger, to get better gear, to catch more fishes, to get more money, to get stronger, to catch more fishes. Wait, can you say fishes for the plural? I can't wait for people in the comment being like, actually you can only say fish! Screw you. Also, some zones contain some special golden frogs, but we will talk about them later. Oh, and before I forget, bosses have unique and different gimmicks. Some accelerate the movement on the fish line, others throw bubbles you have to pop, otherwise they deal damage. And later they will even throw meteors, but it's soon to talk about that. After giving all the items to God, he is able to locate our friend. He is in the underwater temple we saw near the shipyard. Huh? No, wait, what? He's right there? What? Yeah, it's bugged. When you teleport, he appears next to you, but he's not really there, okay? It's just a bug. Oh yeah, you can teleport to beds with this item. Now, before entering in the underwater temple, we have to get ready. Whoever they may be, if they are kidnapping people, they are for sure evil. So they will try to kill us. Let's talk about crafting. Killing tons of fishes is not only useful for leveling up or sell the ingredients, you can also use the ingredients to craft better fishing rods and hooks. And that's why now you can see a fantastic time-lapse of me going through all the islands we unlocked, searching every single corner for any possible fish species I may have missed, and finally being able to craft the Demon Rod! A rod transformed into a demon! That was a nice one for my throat. It overflows with power like a fierce god. And then we use this machine of destruction to craft the Calm Rod. Are you relaxing, guys? Submarine minigame! To enter the temple, we have this little teeny tiny minigame, but it's fun! And minigames are gonna be present consistently across the game, you will see, but I like them. Props for making more of these. They make every single travel feel special. But enough with that. We are inside of the underwater temple. Oh no, patrolling lights. That's my only weakness. I cannot fish those. After a short while, we find the prisoners and free everyone, but before leaving, it's time for a little payback to that bastard who kidnapped our friend. In this battle, you first have to weaken him by reflecting his attacks with a sword. Yeah, don't ask why our friend has a sword despite having been captive all this time. And after the opponent flies to China, we are back. This has to be one of the most traumatic experience ever. Imagine getting kidnapped. So of course, the most logical decision after this is to get ready to go back on our joyful adventure across the world. Oh, also, I forgot to tell you, our main character is called Rod Ocean. Did you get the little reference? Because the game revolves around the ocean and using a fishing rod. To upgrade our ship, we need some minerals, so mini-game time! After fishing for ores, because yes, you heard me right, in this world even minerals are obtained through fishes, we can now navigate windy seas, which means more zones, more fishes, and more gold frogs. Finally. After all this time, we got 5,000 gold, so we can buy the White Dragon Robe. This increases the experience received by 20%, literally making almost any other armor completely useless. But I love it! To finish restoring God's power, we need a fruit from the Tree of Edo, but of course we need to catch more fish to make it grow. I swear to God, this game confuses me. Would you believe me if I told you that all the materials we used up to now are defined as parts discarded by fishermen? Okay, they don't eat them, but are you not gonna do anything with them? Like, it really feels as if everyone in the world is a moron and never tried to understand what to do with these body parts, except maybe the villains who are using fish to kidnap people. Okay that it's a game and you have to separate reality from fiction, but my suspension of disbelief kinda falls down in here. In a couple of days, a 16 years old crafted a demon-shaped fishing rod, while everyone else is just surfing. I swear, I almost sympathize with the villains, like they are using the power of a fish present in the world to do something despicable, don't misunderstand me, but they are doing something. They feel as if they are using the world around them to do whatever, you know what. Dungeon time! While Rod Ocean, of course, fishes, Axel is here to fight with a sword. And after defeating Cofagrigus, congratulations, you learn strength. Now you can move rocks. No, I swear, we fight, we fight an Egyptian coffin-shaped monster, and then we get a move which allows us to move rocks. Is this a reference to Pokemon? Not only we get the first ingredient needed for the fruit by throwing rocks to a giant turtle, but also it's backtracking time, and time to talk about the soundtrack. Some of the music tracks are kinda boring and repetitive, but then you hear this. I was pleasantly surprised by this game. Multiple of the soundtracks encapsulated perfectly the feeling of sailing around the world to catch the biggest leviathans. Oh, and also the rewards! This zone is completely optional. Not only we catch the venom, which will be very important much later, but also we get an item to change time, because some fishes can only be caught on day or night. Wait, what? Huh? This item allows you to control time? Why the fuck are we fishing anymore? We are becoming god! We can teleport to beds whenever we want. We can decide when it's daytime or nighttime. But no, we still want to catch them all, of course. To get the last ingredients, we need a better ship, and of course this requires fighting a demigod fish which unleashes tornadoes and thunders upon you. But I mean, we already control the world. This is nothing but a small rock on our path. In the meantime, the same people who kidnapped Axel are almost done with resurrecting the creature that fought against God. The creature which almost defeated God. The Dark Dragon. An artificial being with a power able to end the world. But hey, we got more islands to explore! The map is fully opened now, even if a few paths are still kinda blocked, but I think you know the drill at this point. Explore more dungeons, fight another boss, and get the power to teleport on command, not anymore only to beds! And another dungeon where we get the ability to cast fireballs. With this, the world is really fully open now, and we can deal with the last bosses who hold the materials for the fruit. That's perfect, we give the fruit to God and it's easy game, right? It's not over yet. It turns out that the girl who sent the monster against us is back, and is able to transform into a demigod fish to fight against us. Very cool. Wait a second, what? They talk about how that evil dude used a special virus to turn people into fish, and we saw how they already caught multiple people in the past, so... The game never elaborates on this, but statistically speaking, we catch thousands of fish and kill thousands of fish since we started playing, and we are just two people. Like, maybe we also killed some humans turning to fish? Wow, this game gets very dark if you think about it more than 1 second. But whatever, the game does not elaborate on this, let's continue. Imagine if the first catfish we caught, the one which brought us to this adventure, was indeed a human. No, but let's continue. What the game does focus on is the emotions of this girl, because the horrible monster which almost killed us is actually her brother, and it's under the evil control of the dude. And it's our duty as the hero to save that. But we have to do something first. You see, while playing, I kept searching for the golden frogs I mentioned, and I think it's time to explain what happens. There is a dude in a tent which wants you to catch gold frogs and bring them to him to receive some rewards, some of which are unique. For example, there is a bracelet, which which increases all the experience you get when catching fishes by 10. And then there is a girl, which is able to read your fortune and point you in the correct direction for another golden frog. And after you collect all the 21 golden frogs scattered through the game, what's the final reward? For the occasion, the person makes us enter into the tent and reveals a secret passage which leads to one final water pool. The last frog that we have to catch is in here. The God Frog. This entity can grant us one wish: the best fishing rod or the best armor. But to do that, we have to prove we are worth. Welcome to the hardest challenge of the game. 21 HP, we deal only 1 damage with each attack. If we fail, we die. The attack bar is very small, and you think that's it? No! The more damage you deal, the faster everything goes, and the smaller the damage area becomes. Remember, if you make even a single mistake, you restart from the beginning, and you have to deal 21 more damage. This is my favorite battle of the game. The tension it builds up the more you deal damage, the very big precision you need to have to win. It almost reminds me of the Pantheons from Hollow Knight. You fail one battle, you go back to the beginning. You are constantly on your nerves as you look at the little bar going left and right, and left and right. One mistake and you restart. And honestly, I am not ready for this. Let's continue into the underwater temple. In here, there is a secret passage to the underground laboratory. And the lights are back. I know you may be wondering, and I was wondering too. What happens if you touch the lights? You know, this game is halfway there between Hello Kitty and Berserk. There are some moments which make me think it's just a friendly walk in the park while fishing, and then there is this. After finding the brother, the evil dude teleports us away from him. The creator of it all, the one who is resurrecting the Dark Dragon, Adam Mitna. And the reason is that the world is wrong and we must reset it all. And they are not gonna elaborate on it whatsoever. As I said, you do not play this game for the story. He looks at us, he looks at the Dark Dragon, laughs, and then turns into the sickest fish so far. The worst researcher, Adam Mitona? Wasn't it Mitna? Alright, I forgot to tell you the game has multiple typos and stuff like that, but screw it! This battle is crazy! The first part is not that hard, but it's compensated heavily by an insane catch phase. Many HP and multiple gimmicks at the same time. He teleports you, protects himself, and makes you lose time so he can attack you more. It's very tense, and I think I was almost under-leveled for this. But we can do it. This bastard is very resilient to admit defeat, that's why he sacrifices himself to resurrect the Dark Dragon fully. The final battle is in front of us, God against Dark God. Light versus evil. The angler versus the fish. But we have one last thing to do before that. Yeah, you knew it was coming. Trust me, you will lose time. You will lose a lot of time. You will lose more time than it is worth, probably. Or you may end up going crazy like me. No! No! But maybe, eventually, you will win. And with that, you get the coolest armor in the game, Poseidon. With this, we are ready to take on the Dark God. Flying up in the sky, we realize the Dark Dragon mind has been taken over by Adam. Adam is the Dark Dragon, and is ready to kill us. But of course, if the villain has plot armor, we can't be worse than him, right? After very conveniently falling down exactly in a small spot where we probably should have died from fall damage, we see a vision of the legendary angler Merlin, which gives us our good amount of plot armor. Back in the skies, we throw our fishing rod, and we prepare for battle. The Dark God is throwing meteors and a power which required hundreds or thousands of human sacrifices to be conceived. But we have power of friendship, baby! And so, he dies and falls down into the water! Ah, you thought he was dead? Of course no! Second phase, as any JRPG of respect. At this point, he is combining every single gimmick we faced in the other bosses in the past. But now we mastered them all. He is nothing but the shadow of his former self. And just like that, good job, we won! Hip hip hooray! But the adventure is not over. What? You thought getting control of space and time and defeating gods was enough? Of course no! We travel between all the continents searching for all the remaining fishes and treasures, we complete the fish decks, now every single fish in the world is known by us, and discover the best way to farm experience points. In the frozen area, you can find a giant metal fish in the water, which has a very low amount of HP, but you deal 1 damage with each attack. Now, he gives you a great amount of experience points, but it's kinda slow of a battle, so how do we compensate it? Do you remember Venom? His fishing rod deals 3 damage every second. With that, we can farm experience points, level up, become God, and rule over the world. What's next? Going to hell? What?